it was on like the second leg when we found out, and or when we got the offer, and it was we were like, how can you say no to that? Like,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we were like, all right, you're gonna be gone for 30 more days, but whatever.
So as you guys were on tour, you guys got the opportunity to 3 days after coming back from said tour, hop straight onto Summer Slaughter. Holy
Yep.
shit! So you guys had, I'm assuming you guys had a lot to, logistically probably a lot to deal with too, just in terms of, getting more merch and all this stuff to prep for Summer Slaughter prior. But you guys were like doing all this on tour.
Yeah, and our van broke down and we
Ah,
had to get a
True.
rental. And then we started Summer Slaughter in a rental. We were driving it's like a 2020 Ford F-150 because that's all they had. They had
Oh
no vans that
no.
we could rent.
wow.
So yeah, it was trailer and a Ford F-150.
So you guys weren't sleeping too well, I assume.
Slept like hell. It was awful. But we made it though. We made it through.
How
How?
how was Summer Slaughter? I'm curious,
Yeah,
just because
that was my
I
question.
know there was a lot of sort of a quote unquote controversy around the tour. Ever since it kind of got announced in the lineup, but then of course you guys were a part of that lineup. So what's how was it actually being at the shows and stuff? How did Summer Slaughter go?
It was fun. It was definitely a different experience. Like load in was crazy early, like 10 a.m. Like I don't know, but you get to see so many like good bands like every day. Like some bands that I had already been listening to. It was surreal just to be asked to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was crazy.
Yeah, because that was a
Like
pretty long tour, and the lineup was dope. It was a asides from the preconceptions of what people would have thought, a real Summer Slaughter lineup would have been, quote unquote,
yeah,
the cast of bands was a cool lineup of
Yeah.
bands.
yeah, it was man. Like people get stuck in the past. They want that nostalgia factor because that's what everything is now. And
Yep.
there are other bands that are trying to do the same shit that excuse my language, but the same shit that
Oh,
everybody else did back in the day. We're all trying to grind, you know, try to be those
yeah.
bands that people look back and like are like, yo, this band should be on this package. Why are they not? The same thing
Yeah,
with those
yeah.
guys, like all the other bands they wanted.
Yeah, because the funny thing over time is it's kind of a circle thing. Like now you look at the old flyers and you see like Suicide Silence, Carnifex, and all those bands, and we're like, oh my god, that's legendary and stuff like that. But those bands back in the days were getting a lot of negativity around them, and like, oh my god, I fully remember they were, I'm not a big hater in general, so I didn't really do it myself. But like, I would see all these comments online, kind of shitting on all those bands, and today they're looked at as legends, right? So it's always kind of just people don't understand that like time. It's like their perspective, when they announce a festival or something, they're kind of expecting something from the past. But if they would have been there in the past, maybe even then their opinion would have been different. That's kind of how I see it personally.
Yep.
So, you know.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like the shit that we'll be nostalgic for, in 15 years is happening right now, right? So it's like,
Yep.
It's and I think we
That's what I'm
should take
hoping
things for
for.
what it is. Yeah. Like when you have like a lineup, and instead of trying and thinking about like what it should be, like just think it of was what it is. If you like the bands, if you feel like you're gonna have a good time, who cares? Just go at what you enjoy. So that's kind of how I saw it. I think there was like Brand of Sacrifice too, right? Like a
yeah, there's
couple
a Veil of
cool.
Maya Brand of
Yeah,
Sacrifice
brand
co-headliner, which in itself is like two really, one more of a
insane.
legacy band, but two like really really big bands at the moment. It's like there's no reason for those shows to not do good. It's like This entire package would draw people without the Summer Slaughter name on it, right? And
Oh,
that was kind of like the whole thing. Is like remove the Summer Slaughter name, and it's a solid fucking lineup. It's super cool, you know. But,
yeah, man.
yeah.
Like I heard people saying if it was called, I'm trying to remember the name of the other festival that Ash had.
Like all
that it
star
would've-
tours or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, All Stars. Yeah. And like, I mean, like, does it matter? Does it?
It's so superficial. It's so like it's the same bands. It's the same thing. But you're right. Like it's weird, man. I it's something I never really understood when the lineup came out. Like I quote unquote, I get it, like kind of like bad marketing, if you will. But at the end of the day, like you got a cool cast of bands, then that's what really matters. But
I feel like
yeah,
it's
man,
it's also
go for it.
because sorry, yeah, I feel like it's also because like we have so many big nostalgic, like the Vans Warped Tour is coming back, the when we were young thing, you know what I mean? Like I know I'm going in another kind of scene a little bit, but it's just these people now, most people have so much like expectation. They expect like all their band, like completely everything they ever listened to be there, and they want it for like $15 type thing. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like, how do you think it works? It's just I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. It's like the bands that they're asking, like, not saying that this band was asked, but like say someone wanted Deicide. That someone's like, yeah, bring Deicide to Summer Slaughter. Okay, what's Deicide's guarantee compared to what it was back then?
mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
like you can't afford to
are
do that
people
for
willing
30
to pay a
days.
ticket
Like,
for that, yeah.
oh yeah, like but people don't see that. They're just like, this is what we want. Don't tell us otherwise. And I'm like, no, you're not being told otherwise. Like, just you come or you don't come.
Yeah, exactly. Like
But
that's
I
what I'm
mean,
saying. Like take it for what it is. You know what I mean? Like if the because I've seen so many comments about the Vince Warped Tour, right? And I get it. Like so people are scared it's not the same and everything. But I saw some people like expecting the same prices. I'm like, where, like, how do you really think over time? Like, did you even look at the prices in general right now? Like, it's just it's impossible, like, so it's just me personally, I'm not, if I enjoy something, if I really want to see bands and stuff like that, I couldn't care less, unless you tell me it's like, $5,000, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, okay. But like, if it makes sense a little bit, I kind of see it differently. I see it as like I'm supporting. You know what I mean? Like I'm going there. Supporting, so I don't care.
Three grown-ass dudes talking that way, though. It's a bit different, I guess. For
I'm old. I'm old.
Yeah, we're both in different stages of life compared to the 18-year-old looking for the $20 ticket.
You may have a point. You may have a point about that. They could do an age thing, right? Like we're paying more because we're old.
There we go. Maybe. Yeah.
So
we're getting close to the seniors discount if they're doing
yeah,
that.
we might get it. Who knows? So
hell, I'm ready for it.